Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. And this is my initial comparison between the Lebron 21 and the Lebron 22. So as far as the tech goes, the tech is pretty much the exact same. But the price is pretty different, which I do like. So the Lebron 21 retails for $200, which is freaking expensive. However, it's been out for quite some time and a lot of the colorways are on sale. I actually got this colorway for $100, which is kind of insane. Pretty much 50% off, right? However, the Lebron 22 retails for $180, which is a $20 price decrease, which of course is unheard of from Nike. Nike never does that. They only usually increase the price, you know. So shout out to Nike for doing that. So if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave the affiliate link in the description box. If you do choose to get either of these shoes, it does help me out if you buy it through the affiliate link in the description box, or you can get it from the product pictures underneath this video, or a link will be right over here. And as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. And also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the socks I've been wearing in all my videos. It's actually my brand. It's called Young Hone, and it is finally available for pre-order. So if you guys do want to get it, a link will be in the description box for that as well. It is a pre-order, so it'll take a couple of weeks to ship out. So just try to be patient for that, and thank you for the patience and support. But yeah, it's more like an athleisure socks, right? So it is a little bit thinner. It has a little bit less cushion than a basketball sock, like a traditional basketball sock, because I wanted something where you could wear like casually, right? Like just going out, something that looks good, and also something that you can work out in, and also something that you can hoop in. That's been my main sock that I've been hooping in, right? A full-fledged basketball sock with a lot more cushion will be coming soon, but the first one that came out is more like a athleisure sock. And also I do have shorts available too. But anyways, let's get it started off with the Traction. So the traction in both of these shoes, or in both of these colorways, is translucent for the rubber, right? So that kind of sucks, because usually from my experience, translucent rubber does pick up a lot more dust than solid rubber. But I haven't had a solid rubber for the Lebron 21, right? So how's the traction? So the Lebron 21 is really, really nice. You have an amazing bite on the clean court, like pretty much top tier traction, right? However, it's pretty inconsistent on dust, right? So today I was playing in both of these shoes at the same time, right? I actually had the Lebron 21 on my left foot and then the Lebron 22 on my right foot, right? And then I was going up for a layup, right? And of course, like if you're right-handed, you go off your left foot usually, right? And then it was pretty dang dusty today, right? And it was picking up a lot less dust than the Lebron 22, but it's just a little bit more inconsistent on dust, right? So I went up and it was really biting through dust extremely well, but just for that one stop, I stopped and then I slid out really freaking dangerously, and I hurt my ankle pretty bad, right? And it still kind of hurts. Like it's not a bad injury or anything. It's just kind of like I tweaked it a little bit and it just feels a little uncomfortable right now. So that's just the inconsistency of the Lebron 21 on the dusty court, right? So it bites through dust pretty dang well, and it's a pretty easy wipe. However, it can slip out pretty dangerously on like certain really hard stops. So that's one thing I didn't like about the dust performance, right? But here in the Lebron 22, when I first got it, oh my gosh, it was just sliding around all over the place and it felt really freaking terrible. You know what I mean? I really didn't like it in my apartment, right? And then I took it to the court, and it's been really dusty on the court, and it's been sliding around. It was sliding around like crazy, and it was just terrible, you know what I mean? And even if I wiped, it still would not bite, right? But then because I was playing in both of these shoes at the same time, I had one shoe that was like better for traction, so I didn't really mind playing the Lebron 22 that much. You know what I mean? So I kept playing it, and after an hour later, it actually broke in a little bit more and started to really bite very, very hard when I wiped. And the wipe is actually really hard, however. It's not like a slight wipe. You just go like this. You have to really get in there and wipe off all that dust. And once I did that, I had like a few really good stops, and it would pick up dust really quickly again. So yeah, that definitely is an improvement from when I first got it. And we'll have to see on how it gets better and better, like if it will get better and better. But because it did, I have no reason to believe that it wouldn't improve, right? So but right now, for my initial comparison, of course the Lebron 21 is better for dust, besides like the inconsistent stop on dust, right? So there's that. And also for durability, I feel like I feel like the LeBron 22 will be a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the grooves are... Yeah, the grooves are a little bit thicker. Actually, no. They're around the same thickness, and also they're around the same depth, but the rubber seems to be slightly harder in the LeBron 22. So just by a little bit, I feel like the 22 will be better for durability. So yeah, we'll have to see on how the 22 breaks in, but just again, for right now, for my initial comparison, the 21 is a little bit better. Now moving on to the heel to toe transition, they're both very nice, right? So here in the heel, we got a nice rounded shape as well as this foam being exposed, which has a nice bit of compression. Same thing here in the forefoot. So here in the LeBron 22, pretty much same thing. It's really soft. We have cushion on for both of these shoes. So that feels nice here in the heel for the LeBron 22, and we have a nice curve shape. So both of these shoes have a really nice rocking motion because of the overall shape. Here in the LeBron 21, we have a good amount of also like forefoot flex, but also here in the midfoot a nice bit of flex, but also not a crazy amount of springiness, right? But here in the LeBron 22, we have a nice bit of flex, but also it feels a lot springier here in the LeBron 22, which I do like, right? So there's a little bit of a difference. The LeBron 22 feels a little bit more flexible. The 22 is a little bit more kind of like springy feeling, right? So there's that. Moving on to the cushioning setup, it's very, very similar. You know what I mean? Like, I really couldn't tell a huge difference in the cushion, right? So the tech is pretty much the exact same, right? We have a top-loaded forefoot zoom turbo unit in both of the shoes. Here in the heel, we have a very large volume zoom unit that's bottom-loaded. They're both using Cushlon. So yeah, here in the heel, we have a nice bit of compression for the LeBron 21, which does feel nice, of course. And same thing here in the LeBron 22. However, it is a lot more caged, but for some reason, it feels still nice for the compression here in the heel, which is surprising, right? The Zoom Turbo unit feels nice and pretty much the exact same. You have a nice little bit of compression, nice little bit of bounce, and then a court feel literally feels the exact same as well. The insole also is pretty much the exact same. So yeah, the cushion, I guess like LeBron just likes it, you know, the Zoom Turbo unit. You guys remember like starting from like the LeBron 15. The 15 was crazy. 16 crazy, 17, 18 crazy. The LeBron 19 was trash, but it had crazy cushion, right? So I guess LeBron kind of found what he liked, which is kind of weird because like he's way older now. And I feel like if you're a lot older, you want a lot more cushion. But then with the new generation, starting from the LeBron 20s, and the 21, 22, it actually has, well, it still has really nice cushion. It has a lot of cushion, but it actually has a lot less cushion than his older shoes, which is kind of crazy, but it's good to see because I really like it. I like the better court feel, but still has really good impact protection and bounce. So yeah, there is the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the upper. So the upper is a little bit different, right? So here in the 21, we have the synthetic material. So yeah, it's just not the best for quality. There's a lot of freaking crease marks on this. I hate it. You know, I really don't like this material. I definitely like the purple colorway that I have a little bit better. But it definitely is thinner though. It's thinner for the material here in the 21. There also is more pinching, especially once you first get the LeBron 21, because it just feels a little bit stiffer. You know what I mean? But here in the LeBron 22, they are giving us a synthetic leather material. And with this synthetic leather, it is a little bit thicker. However, it's cozier, more comfortable. It conforms to your foot a little bit better. And there's also no pinching in the upper, especially like even when you get it at first. So I really like that. And honestly, for the overall quality as well, I do like the LeBron 22 a lot more. There's also a lot of holes here for the material, right? So 21, of course, it definitely wasn't great, especially for $200. That's crazy. $200 for this quality is terrible. So many crease marks. But yeah, I guess it did feel nice once you kind of broke it in. It's supportive and it's thin, but I would say I like the 22 a little bit better, although it is a little bit thicker, right? Here in the midfoot, as far as like how it feels, it feels very similar, right? And then for the tongue, it's pretty much the exact same. Like the stitching is a little bit different. So here in the LeBron 21, the shapes are a little bit smaller. and it's kind of like a diamond shape, right? But here in the LeBron 22, we got some triangles, right? So, and also they are a little bit bigger for the shape, but the overall kind of like feel is very similar on top of your foot. And I really like how it looks and feels. It kind of looks like, you know, a really nice luxury sports car and like the seats, you know what I mean? Here in the LeBron 21, we have his signature here on top of the tongue, but here in the LeBron 22, we have like this really cool like jewel plastic thing. It's like a triangular pyramid. It also says 22 with the crown underneath it. There are also half booty construction tongues, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit in both of the shoes. And then here in the ankle area, it's pretty much the exact same as well. Like from the LeBron 20, they're using the same type of foam. It feels like a memory foam. It feels really soft. It feels very plush. It feels a little bit different than like the traditional foam that you find in most shoes, you know. So, but it feels literally the exact same, right? And also the cut is literally the exact same as well. So it's just a really similar feeling upper. It's just the LeBron 22 just feels a little bit softer, a little bit cozier, and a little bit thicker, right? But again, not that big of a difference, you know? Also here in the heel, I like how they kept it the same though. You know, as far as like these cords go, you know, we have this cord design here in LeBron 21. It says the 21 here in the back, right? But for the LeBron 22, it says that here on the tongue, which is a pretty cool kind of difference. And also for the LeBron 22, the cord goes underneath the outline of the swoosh here on the lateral side and also here on the medial side, which I think is a pretty cool touch, right? So there is the upper there. Moving on to the fit, literally the exact same, right? So as far as the length goes, the exact same, right? Also the width, pretty much the exact same. So if you know what size you are here in the LeBron 21, go the exact same size here in the LeBron 22. However, there is a little bit of a difference in fit here in the toe box, right? So the LeBron 21 is a little bit more snug, right? And I can't really curl my toes up that much. But here in the LeBron 22, it's a little bit roomier, just a tiny bit. And I definitely feel like that has to do with the leather. It's just a little bit softer feeling, you know what I mean? A little bit cozier. It has a little bit more forgiveness in the actual upper, so I can curl my toes up just a tiny bit more. It's still a really nice snug fit for me here in the LeBron 22. It's just a little bit roomier in the toe box, right? So that's like the only difference. It's pretty minor. But again, if you know what size you were in the LeBron 20 and the LeBron 21, go the exact same size here in the 22, right? And now moving on to the support and lockdown. I mean, I had zero issues in the LeBron 21 because it's for LeBron. Yeah, he's a big dude. He needs a lot of support, right? So lateral containment, I'm good to go. This upper is extremely supportive. It's pretty stiff as well. We have lateral counters here in the forefoot. There's an internal TPU heel counter here in the heel. It's super freaking stiff, right? Here in the 22, we'll have to see on the lateral containment here in the forefoot, but it's a synthetic leather material. I don't think there's going to be any issues. There's also an internal TPU heel counter as well as this plastic piece that goes all the way here into the middle of the outsole. It's kind of like a midfoot chain plate, but they're calling it like a saddle, and it kind of wraps around here all the way into the medial side as well. So that comes up acting as a saddle here in the midfoot, and there seems to be a crazy internal TPU heel counter too, like a really stiff one. So yeah, lateral containment, I mean, it's gonna be really good here in the 22, right? But also, let's see which shoe is wider. Oh, surprisingly, they're on the same width. Because if you look at the LeBron 22, it's actually, there's a crazy outrigger, super duper sharp. The LeBron 21 doesn't really have that, but inherently it's just a wide base. So yeah, it's literally the exact same. And same thing here in the heel too. They're around the same width too. So yeah, I had zero issues in the LeBron 21 for lateral stability, and the 22 literally feels the same. And also no heel slippage or anything like that, right? For me personally. So there is a supporting lockdown there. Moving on to the weight. So I definitely feel like the LeBron 22 is going to be a little bit heavier, probably because of the material that they're using, right? So the 21 was around average weight, I think, right? So 12.7 ounces, which is a little bit heavier than average, but pretty much average weight. The LeBron 22 is 13.9 ounces. So it's more than an ounce heavier than the LeBron 21. And again, that makes sense. It just kind of surprises me because it's a full ounce probably just from the upper, right? Yeah, the tongue is literally the exact same. The padding in the ankle area is the exact same. The traction, the cushion, all that pretty much the exact same. Maybe the plastic too? Maybe the plastic adds a little bit more weight with the upper, but either way, it is a little bit heavier, right? But it's not that big of a difference. You know, you don't notice it that much. Again, it's just a little bit cozier for the synthetic leather material. So there's that. Moving on to the aesthetics. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think looks better? I think the 21 looks a little bit better. I really dislike this colorway. I wanted to get the white one, you know, the black and white colorway, but then it wasn't available when the sale was going on over at Nike, so I just got this shoe for 50% off. And again, I really dislike this color, but I think the overall design of the 21 just looks better to me than the 22. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, so the LeBron 21 and the 22 feel extremely similar. Literally, it's really hard to tell the difference, you know what I mean? And the only thing, of course, is the traction. The traction for the 22 on dust, hopefully it gets better, you know what I mean? And again, it did get better and it did improve from when I first got it. Today, I just wore this shoe once. So again, hopefully it gets better and better, but we'll have to see on that. And also, the upper does feel a little bit different as well, but again, it's not that big of a difference, you know? When I had both of these shoes on, it felt extremely similar for the feel. So that about wraps up this video. Again, if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave the link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.